Let's go to our next guest, who is one of the stars of International Fight Week. We're still buzzing after that fight against Brandon Royval. What a showdown, what a fight, what action. It was incredible to watch. And as a result, he is now the number one contender at 125 pounds. He is your friend and mine, the pride of Myanmar, the one and only Joshua Van, who is kind enough to join us. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. How you doing?
It's great to see you again. By the way, can I ask, how has life changed for you since that fight? Because I can't talk to anyone about MMA or about the UFC since that fight without someone saying like, yo, Joshua Van, this guy's my new favorite fighter. This guy's unbelievable. So I can't imagine what you're getting. What has life been like since the fight for you?
Everything's good. The social media wise, like, it changed a lot of things, but I'm still the same me, man. Outside of social media, I'm still the same guy, still doing the same old thing. You know what I mean? So life is still the same.
The head's not getting bigger. You're not feeling yourself. You're not Mr. Superstar now. You're not acting like that.
Nah, man, I learned. I learned from my last mistake,
Okay.
So I ain't trying to do all that no more.
But what was that mistake? What did you do?
You know what I mean? I got big head. I don't want to train. Like, no, not that I don't want to train. I train, but I'll be like, look, I feel like I can beat this guy without training and things like that. But I don't want to make the same mistake. You know what I mean? I'm still learning right now.
By the way, I think it was after the fight, you had mentioned that maybe your toe had been broken, but now it sounds like no broken toe, right?
No, no, they say it was just like dislocated or something. So it was just like very painful at that time. But I'm good now. Like, I'll probably let it rest for a couple weeks, couple
Okay.
more, and then we back.
When you accepted the fight against Royval, and it was just a couple of weeks after your fight here in the tri-state area, in New Jersey to be exact, Newark. Were there any doubts in the back of your mind, like, hey, maybe I'm doing a little too much here, maybe this is a little too soon, or were you say all the right things, but internally, how were you feeling heading into the fight?
Nah, I always feel confidence that I can beat the guys, you know what I mean? Even my last fight, like when they was doing media, I was limping and all that shit. And then they was like, hey man, Josh, you gonna do the face off with the champ. And I forgot all about my foot. You know what I mean? So like it's like when you get a call for the fight, I think something just changed inside me, you know what I mean? So like I just forget all about the injury.
I'm going to ask you about that face-off in a moment, but regarding the fight, I'm assuming you've watched it in its entirety since it happened.
Which fight?
This one, the
This
Royval one.
uh, Bro, that guy's tough, man. When I was in the cage, I didn't think it was like that much of a great fight. But then I rewatch it, I was like, damn, we some dog, you know?
Yo, it's such a fun fight. It's such an incredible fight. Probably the fight of the year as we sit here today. And I'm just wondering, you guys are in the pocket. You're freaking going toe to toe. It's just all action. The amount of strikes being thrown by the two of you. Are you thinking at any point like, what do I? Even in the final seconds, you drop him, but he doesn't go away. Are you thinking, what do I have to do to put this guy away? Jesus Christ, he's taking all these shots and he's still coming forward.
Yeah, even in the first and second round, I heard him a couple times. But every time I heard him, he come back stronger. You know what I mean? So the third round, I was like, because the first round, it was like clear that I won that first round, right? But the second round, that's when he changed his timings and his speed and things like that. So it was kind of like hard for me to readjust again, right? Because I thought I got him already in the first round. So in the second round, he just changed everything. And I was like, okay, let me adjust to it. And then in the third round, like I kind of got his timing, but then he is like, he's not fast, but he's not slow. So his timing is weird. So I have to like, you know what I mean, readjust to that timing as well.
So is this story accurate? After the fight, you're backstage and you see Hunter and Dana and tell them you want to go in the cage. Was it your idea?
No, I didn't see them in the backstage. I saw them cage side.
Okay.
Uh, they were standing and they was clapping, and then I was like, "Hey, man, Hunter, can I do the face off?" And he was like, "We might call you."
Wow. So you stayed there. You came back, you got changed, and you stayed there.
Yeah,
Because usually
uh,
they don't do that sort of thing. Like, especially if you fought just, the fight prior, they don't have the guy, the winner, sit there. I thought it was a brilliant idea. And apparently your idea, like, do you think they would have asked you to do it had you not brought it up?
I to be honest, I thought it was a normal thing, but a lot of people say they never done that. I was like, oh, look, I'm blessed enough to, you know what I mean, for them to give me that chance. So I'm very grateful for that.
It was brilliant. So you got to watch Pantoja, firsthand, up close, beat Kaikar France. What did you think of what you saw?
It was a good fight, but like my head wasn't all there, like because
Yeah.
like I was so exciting, like I was so excited to be there, you know what I mean? And you got to remember, I never go to a UFC event. Like I think that was like probably like my second time, because the first fight it was Daniel Pineda fight in San Antonio, and then after that I never go to no UFC event or nothing. So like for me to sit at the front row, it was just, you know what I mean? So my head wasn't there.
So okay, usually when you're fighting, you're in the back, and then when the fight's over, you just kind of leave, right? You don't get to sit and take it all in.
Yeah.
Man,
So it was crazy.
you must have been loving it. And so when he calls you in, what are you feeling in that moment? Now you're face to face with the champ. 6 months ago, you were nowhere near the title picture.
Yeah, it was crazy because I don't like when I walk in the cage, I didn't even know what to do. Um, I walk in there, and then when Joe Rogan asked me a question, I thought we was done, and then he was like, shout out to the champ, man. He was like, "Hey, look, we got to do the face off."
I like
And I was,
that. That was smart. That was smart.
yeah, I forgot about the face off. I thought after he interviews me, I thought we was done.
I love that because it showed he was very nice. He was very respectful, cordial, but it showed that he gets the promotional side of things. And then you put the arm up. What does the arm up represent? Does it represent anything other than I'm the man?
Yeah, I'm the man. I'm about to take that belt. That's what it means. You know what I mean? So. It showed that I'm confident, that I'm ready to take him over.
You know what's interesting about Pantoja? One of the
Mm.
nicest guys, but I felt like in that face-off, like he switched in a moment. What did you see when you were looking at him?
See, I don't really care about the face off,
All
man.
right,
Like
all right.
people want to look hard when they face off. I'm like, man, come on, we gonna fight in the cage. You know what I mean?
So you weren't impressed by any of it.
Nah, man. Everybody want to look hard. Like when we face off, everybody change their face. Like, come on, like it's cool.
I liked what you said though. You said something to the effect of like he's beaten a lot of tough guys, but he's never beaten me. He's never fought anyone like me. Something to that effect, right?
Yeah, he's a great champion, but he ain't never fought Joshua Van.
There it is. There it is. Yes, and you believe that because he has fought some tough guys. You believe no one like you.
There's no one like me. You know what I mean? The fighting style that I bring, and like the no respect. You know what I mean? I don't give respect to nobody in that cage. So you know what I mean? I respect him as a man. I respect what he done in our division. But when we fight, there's no respect at all.
So that's an interesting word, respect, because you could still, when you say respect, you could still have respect for what someone has done or who they are, and maybe that makes you fight a certain way. When you say no respect, what do you mean by that? You don't put him on a pedestal. You don't think of him as Pantoja the champion. What do you specifically mean when you say that?
You know how a lot of people said, he's good on this, he's good at like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody like, he's the next level, this and that. Like, look at Royval, when they said, his pressure is gonna be too much, right? But like I didn't give him no respect, when he was pressuring me, I don't give him no respect. I stay calm, I'll do my thing, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be the same thing. I'm not gonna let him do his thing. And I feel like a lot of people, because they know that his grappling is so much that they so scared of him taking them down that they end up getting taken down. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
What about this Manel Cap who said, "quote I would murder both Van and Royval on the same night"? What do you make of that?
See, I didn't see that. I don't know. Oh,
There it is.
where that on Twitter?
Yeah.
See, I don't have him on Twitter, so I don't see this. But the interview guys asked me about that thing. He was like, "Cop said he smoked both of you." But I'm like, man, then why you always pull it out, man? You know what I mean? I was saving his ass from getting his ass whooped. Uh, I feel like Royval would beat the shit out of him.
I was just going to ask you that. You think if Cap fights that night against Royval, the same Royval that you fought, you think
Shut up,
Royval beats the shit out of him?
beat the shit out of him.
Wow. Not even close.
Maybe the first round, but then he would drown him in the second and third.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, maybe one of these days you run into him, but obviously you have a big test ahead of you. If we would have talked in January about like, all right, what are your big plans for 2025? Where do you hope to be by the end of the year? Realistically, what would you have said?
Champion.
You believed it. You
I
thought
think
things.
I said this. I think I said this in the interview one time. Yeah, I always thought I'd be a champion by the end of this year. And
Wow.
the thing, I write it down on the paper and I pray to, you know what I mean, manifest that. So I like in the morning I'm like, world champion,
So
and
you
I
so,
pray.
so you have that paper written down somewhere.
Yeah, is at my other house. I always have this. I think this is like so I started writing down 2022. So this is like my third, fourth year.
Okay. Oh, so at the end of every year you say this.
No, I write down everything I do. Like, let's say I'm doing an interview with you right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be paper.
Wow.
So just because that just keep you in track, you know what I mean? So whether you fucked up for the days or like you do good things, and then when you go back and read it, you're like, man, I should have done so much better today, you know what I mean? So it just keep you in track.
Wow, wow, wow. I love this. So in January or December of last year, you would have said end of 2025 you'd be champ.
Yes, I said we gonna take over this year.
Incredible. So you're not surprised by any of this.
No.
Has anything surprised you? I mean, look at that. 5 wins in the last 10 months. That's not normal. That doesn't happen to a lot of people. And of course, you have made a lot of this happen. You're ready to go. You take the opportunities. You beat the guys, of course. But has anything surprised you about this journey?
Nothing surprised me, but like some moment just gave me like more excitement, you know what I mean? But surprise wise, I'm not surprised because we put in the work and I believe in my team believe in me, and I believe in my God, you know what I mean? So he always answered my prayers.
What are they saying back home? Are they reaching out to you? Are you getting a ton of coverage back home? What's it been like?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I just got surprised by my crush, my childhood crush.
Come on.
One of the actors from Myanmar, you know. That was cool. That was cool as hell.
So she reached out to you?
Yeah, I got interviewed by this big platform in Myanmar, and then they was like, "Hey, close your eyes," and then you know what I mean. They count 5 seconds, and then she came and and she was like, "Hey, Joshua, how you doing? Like, I'm supporting you," and things like that. So it's crazy.
When's the last time you talked to this girl?
Like 2 days ago.
Oh, no, no, no. I mean, prior to all of this.
What you mean? She's famous, bro. I don't talk to her like
She's
that.
famous? Who is she? Who is she?
She's famous as fuck, bro. Her name Muhego
Well,
from Myanmar. She's an actress from Myanmar.
incredible. And now she's supporting, and she was your childhood crush.
Yeah, I used to watch all her movies and shit like that. Yeah.
Oh, you see, when you said childhood crush, I thought like this was like a kid in your class that you had a crush on.
No, no, she is like way out of my league.
Yo, but now she's on your radar. How old is she? How old is she?
I don't know. She's a little older, but you know, age is just a number, right?
Yo, let's go. Let's go, Joshua, man. We can make this happen. Now you're one of the most famous people from Myanmar in the world. You're known worldwide. Is she known worldwide or is she just known in Myanmar? You're probably more
I
famous than her.
I would say that, man. She's,
Yo,
you know what I mean?
yo,
She's good.
you're gonna have a situation where you're gonna be rolling up to the fights, and she's gonna be like how people roll up with the plus one with the wife with the girlfriend. Now you're gonna be the star couple. You're gonna be the power couple.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy for sure.
I love it. I love it. By the way, I do believe you're going to be the first fighter born in the 2000s to, uh,
For a belt?
to fight for a UFC belt, right?
Yes.
That's huge. What a great distinction. Making me feel very old though as a human being. But we're now officially in the 2000s era.
Yeah, like I said, the new era of fighting is here.
When do you think this fight happens?
Hopefully this year.
Have they given you any indication?
No phone call. We're just waiting for the phone call right now, and then after that, we're gonna study him, and then back in the gym.
He has said that he wants to fight December or so. He likes the June December range. Do you like that? Are you okay with that? I mean, obviously he's the champ, so he gets to dictate the terms. But if you're so active these days, would a 5 month break between fights be good for you?
Yeah. Whatever the champ want, you know what I mean. So I feel like that's perfect for me as well because I'm still gotta heal up, you know what I mean, my toes and all that. So I think that would give me a little more time for me to prepare for him too. So perfect, whatever you want, as long as it's this year. And I think the fans want to see
Hell yeah.
us this year for sure.
And when you think of the fight, when you sort of, I know it's early now, but when you sort of digest it, how do you see this fight going? He has been so good as of late. He has been on such a roll. He has been so dominant. How do you feel it going?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said because a lot of people give him respect, right? I mean, like respect is good, but when you showing too much respect, you're just letting another man playing his game, you know what I mean? So that's hard to deal with. Like even when he fought see like Kai, his last fight. I rewatched it like last night, right? I feel like Kai didn't fight the way he usually fight, right? Usually he would throw and trying to land them punches, but right now, like last fight, he was worried about getting taken down that he don't, you know what I mean? He don't throw like he usually do, things like that. So I'm not gonna be the same way. I'm gonna do my thing. If you take me down, I'm gonna get back up, and then we're gonna fight again.
Gosh, I love it. I love it. You have. I was just watching an old clip from back in 2019 where the UFC was this close to getting rid of the flyweight division. Henry Cejudo was about to fight T.J. Dillashaw, and for this to kind of come on my radar a week after your fight against Brandon, which is one of, if not the best fights of the year, and you have brought so much joy and so much excitement to the division. Like the thought of it going away is actually completely absurd at this point. But it's just amazing what you've done in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You know what I mean? Um, Man, I'm just very, very excited for our division right now, especially when we got a guy like myself, Pantoja, and then like there's like the top 1 to top 10
Yeah.
really like killers, you know what I mean? So 125 division right now is very, very exciting.
And the amount of strikes that you throw, the activity, your pace, it definitely makes you one of the most popular fighters in the sport, which is a great thing to see. What do you say to people who say this is happening a little bit too soon? That maybe a couple more fights. Don't jump into the deep end just yet. What do you say to those people?
Yeah, but who do I fight?
Yeah.
Like number one guys, when they offered me Royval, they said the same thing. They was like, we love Van, but I think this is too early, or be like, man, this guy's too cocky. But I don't think I'm cocky. You know what I mean? I'm just confident in my work, and I just believe in my team. And when my team say you ready, I'm ready.
Last time we spoke, you had I think you had just bought your mom a new house, right? And now you're talking about your different houses. Now you got different houses. It looks like you're in an empty room over there. Is this? And now you just got houses all over the place.
Oh, this my mom new house.
Oh,
I
okay.
just stuff and so that's why I'm like I'm gonna do interview here
I
in this little office room right here.
do you
So
live with your mom?
I have to. There's it's gonna be me and my mom.
I love that. So is that your choice? Is there a reason why you want to live with her, be so close to her?
Yeah, you know what I mean. My dad passed away 2017, so I'm the only man in the house. So you know what I mean. I gotta take care of my mom.
Ama-
Keep.
what does she think of all this success that you're having?
She's very happy. You know what I mean. Like I said, she supported me see my first fight. You know what I mean? So without her, I would have never been here. So she just very, very happy, man. You know what I mean?
Was she at the fight on Saturday?
That's
She was there. Wow, love it. And I'm assuming she'll be at
yeah,
every single one.
every single one.
Damn, did she get nervous?
Yeah, she do. But like, yeah, like I remember when she told me she was about to pass out and all that, but I like, hey, look, you did it.
By the way, who gave you the fearless nickname?
Myself.
You just gave it to yourself.
Yeah, so I did some smoker fight and this ref was like, man, I like this kid. Like I really like this kid, man. I'm gonna name him the Savage, right? And I'm like, I don't like that. So I was training, and then I told my coach, I was like, "Hey man, can you find a nickname for me?" And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I will." And then, but then he never come up with one. So one day I was watching Viking movie. I think it's called The Last Kingdom. And there was this guy like Ragnar the Fearless, and I like the way he carried himself and things like that. And I look at my fighting style, I'm like, the Fearless.
Wow. Yeah, and you certainly give up that vibe, my man. It's a lot of fun to watch you fight. You brought a lot of joy, a lot of excitement to the division. And I mean, that fight, like I said, fight of the year. And maybe by the end of this year, if everything goes to plan and you fight Pantoja, you could be the male fighter of the year. You could be the breakout fighter and the male fighter of the year. Is that something that's on your mind?
I see. I don't want no fight of the year things. I want to get the knockout and then get the fuck out. Cause my last fight, I get hit too many for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I'm talking about fighter of the year, like the male fighter of the year.
Yes, yes, I want that for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, Not fight of the years
No,
or
no more. No more.
maybe performance of the night, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, like cause my last three fight I didn't get touched, but this guy, man, I think he hit me for all my last three fight.
Yeah. There was no part of you that enjoyed that. Like you say, like, oh, it was actually kind of fun to be in a scrap.
In the fight, yes, but then like when I rewatch the fight, I'm like, damn, I should get hit with those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I gotta get better for sure.
What a great fight on paper. Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to see how it all plays out. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to watch you do your thing. So thank you again, Joshua. Appreciate it very much. Congratulations on the great win, on all your success. Good luck in training. And I echo what you said. I hope we get to see it by the end of the year. That would be amazing. So all the best to you, my man. Thank you again.
So thank you for having me.
Pleasure. There he is, Joshua Van, the pride of Myanmar. I need to find out who the childhood crush is. I thought he was talking about a classmate from back in the day that like was his high school sweetheart or elementary crush or something like that. Not a famous person from Myanmar, which is probably even cooler that she's now supporting him. I can't imagine what the love, what the attention, what the coverage is like back home. It must be amazing. By the way, these were the UFC champions when Josh Van was born. Randy Couture at heavyweight, Tito Ortiz at light heavyweight, Dave Manet at middleweight, Carlos Newton at welterweight, Jens Pulver at lightweight. There was no flyweight division. There was no bantamweight division in the UFC. There was no featherweight division. And now here he is about to fight for the UFC title, probably, hopefully, if all goes according to plan, by the end of the year, which would just be an incredible. Him versus Pantoja would just be, I mean, not a lot of trash talk, not a lot of back and forth, but you don't need it when you got guys like that. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.